Hi there. Welcome to me trying something new. I'm Chris Hanlon, and today I'm going to have a crack at my own sort of, I guess you'd call it like a reaction video. We're going to look at a talk and we're going to break down what makes that talk cool and some things that we can learn from it. Now, this is the first time I've tried this, so keen for feedback, see how it goes. Hopefully the technology works. I've had a little bit of a test with a little bit of a play, but you know, first time we're trying it. So let's give it a go. So we're going to be watching a video today, which is, and I'm taking this off YouTube, which is of a TEDx, sorry, a Toastmasters competition. It's back in 2015. I think it's the World Finals. I don't know the category actually, but we'll see. We'll watch the video, and I'm going to just keep pausing it and give some commentary. I might rewind little bits and pieces to relook at a few things. And my goal here is to, well, enjoy it, but also give you some feedback, give you some value, and hopefully some things that you can think about when you're doing your talk. So if you're ready, let's dive into it. Right, let's hit play. Okay, as I said, Toastmasters 2015 World Championship of Public Speaking.
What? Oh, you all think smoking kills? Let me tell you something. Do you know that the amount of people dying from diabetes are 3 times as many people dying from smoking? Yet if I pulled a Snicker bar...
Yeah, I'm going to pause it just there. I'm just going to talk about that opening, just because it's such a strong opening. It's so different. Now, what's different about it? Basically, he's not starting with any words. He's starting with some action that gets a reaction from the audience. This is really powerful. It's very unusual, quite, I wouldn't say unique, but I haven't seen anything quite like this, particularly in Toastmasters. And Toastmasters, so I've been involved in Toastmasters in the past, nearly 20 years ago, and I did quite well in there. I guess my best successes was doing well in some humorous speech competitions and winning a few rounds. My worst thing was that I was a president when the club finally failed, so maybe I'm not that great a president. But anyway, Toastmasters is quite rigid in their rules and that sort of thing. This would be a pretty much a 7-minute talk. It has to be 7 minutes, and there's a little bit of an introduction you have to do, and there's a few things you have to do. But this start is quite different, and it's pushing the boundaries, and that's always a good thing. So let's just go back. We're going to go back. Let me just move that back. Just go back to that start. Now, one of the things I want to focus on when he does the start is focus on his facial expressions as well, because that's what's selling it. His facial expressions are telling the story. Let's hit play there.
What?
And the way he says what, that's great.
Oh, you all think smoking kills? Let me tell you something.
Bit of a fake laugh, but it works.
Do you know that the amount of people dying from diabetes are 3 times as many people dying from smoking? Yet if I pulled a Snicker bar, nobody will say anything. Do you know that the leading cause of lung cancer is not actually a cigarette? It's your DNA. You could smoke for years and nothing will ever happen to you. This whole war against smoking is just to restrict the farming of tobacco.
Okay, we'll just pause there for a sec. I want to come back. It's a very small thing, but this is a finely tuned talk. This is definitely, he's worked on this for some time, you can tell. But just the way he brings the cigarette up in his gestures, just watch his gestures here, his hands and stuff. we'll just go back to about there and hit play.
Do you know that the amount of people dying from diabetes are 3 times as many people dying from smoking? Yet if I pulled a Snicker bar, nobody will say anything. Do you know that the leading cause of lung cancer is not actually a cigarette? It's your DNA. You could smoke for years and nothing will ever happen to you. This whole war against smoking is just to restrict the farming of tobacco. Mr. Conference Chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I use these arguments, even though I just made them up, with a group of my friends. And the results, 5 of them believed what I said. 2 of them started smoking. Words, when said and articulated.
Okay, so I just want to come back here because there's a couple of things I want to say. First of all, it's really, really important that you're paying attention to the audience's reaction. And he's doing this incredibly well. Now, what that means is when he's got to pause and let people laugh, the worst thing you can do, particularly with anything humorous, is to talk over the laughing, because their brain is kicked into that loop and they're finding it funny. It's something different. A joke is always a reinterpretation of something. You think it's going one way and something else happens and your brain's catching up, and that's what makes us laugh, right? And you need to give people time to catch up and get that laugh out, as it were. If you talk over that, you can confuse people or just kill it. And because if you talk over it, they won't want to laugh next time because they're scared they'll miss something. So you kill all the laughter going forwards if there's more jokes. So just watch the way that he does that laughing, how he handles that.
I use these arguments, even though I just made them up.
Actually, I'm going to go back again. I want to say one more thing. Watch his facial expression as well. Again, he's telling a story. In these ones, it would be very easy to crack a smile, but he's keeping his face really straight, which works for this. Let's go again.
Mr. Conference Chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I use these arguments, even though I just made them up.
Great face.
With a group of my friends. And the results, 5 of them believed what I said. 2 of them started smoking.
Straight face again.
Words, when said and articulated in the right way, can change someone's mind. They can alter someone's belief. You have the power to bring someone from the slums of life and make a successful person out of them. Or destroy someone's happiness using only your words.
Use gestures.
Does that seem a bit too good to be true? A simple choice of word can make a difference between someone accepting or denying your message. You can have a very beautiful thing to say, but say it in the wrong words and it's gone.
Good gesture.
I have a son who's 4. And he had this bad habit of writing on the walls with crayons. And one evening I walked into his room and he's going at it, just writing and drawing and so on. And I said, hey. Are you stupid? Don't you ever do that again. And guess what happened? He did it again.
All right, I want to pause there. So the moment he's doing that, so he could talk about, I had my child was drawing on the walls and I berated him, I yelled at him or whatever. But it's so much more effective for him to go, hey, are you stupid? You know, like with a straight face, because I can't stop laughing. But he is in the moment, and as soon as he acts that out, you as the listener, us as the audience, we're in that moment with him. And again, this isn't something that you write down. It is, when you're crafting a talk, this, you craft these moments, but you can't write that down. You have to be that. You have to act that. You have to practice that. You have to, and you have to see yourself doing it. I'm sure he's filmed himself and watched the film back a lot of times. Let's just go back just to that bit and see how that goes. A bit further back.
He had this.
Here we go.
It's gone. I have a son who's 4, and he had this bad habit of writing on the walls with crayons. And one evening I walked into his room and he's going at it, just writing and drawing and so on, and I said, hey.
Pause.
Are you stupid? Don't you ever do that again. And guess what happened? He did it again.
So
nobody likes to be threatened. Nobody likes to be intimidated.
So he pauses. Hey. And then as he comes out, so he's in an act mode, then he goes, and then guess what happens? So in act mode, he's focusing on the child, and we all know mentally that's where he's focusing. And then looks at the audience, and he's broken that fourth wall, and he's back out of that spell. So he's talking to us then. It's quite subtle, but it's quite important. Let's just watch that.
Are you stupid? Don't you ever do that again. And guess what happened? He did it again. Nobody likes to be threatened. Nobody likes to be intimidated. His pride would not allow it. He did it again just to spite me. A week later, I walked into his room, and again, he's going at it. And this time, he was even looking at me just.
That gesture's just beautiful. The eyebrows, perfect.
I came down and said, sweetie, come here. Don't do that. You're a big boy now. You're a big boy now. And he never did it again. Because his pride wants him to be the big boy. Have you ever wondered why nobody cares about global warming?
Okay, so that's really cool. There is a very, very cool use of pause there. So when he lands that thing, and he never did it again because he wanted to be a big boy. When we're practicing and rehearsing a signature talk, a talk that you're going to give a lot, something that matters, and this is a competition, so obviously it matters. When you first start memorizing things, you're too busy thinking about the next thing you're going to say. That's poor memorization. That you just haven't got the memorization right. You have to go through that to get to where he's at here, right? You've got to practice it so that doesn't matter. You don't worry about that, because he's thinking in beats, what the actors call beats, right? He's thinking of, we need a pause here. And when he lands that line of, the child wants to be a big boy, there's a beat, there's a pause there to let that settle. And it's a profound point that he's making there. And if you make a profound point, you have to give it time to sit with the audience. They've got to appreciate that. So again, it feels really subtle, but these little subtleties are what makes it work. Let's go back and just see that.
A big boy now.
Hang on, a bit further back. I love this look as well. Eyebrows, that's brilliant.
I came down and said, sweetie, come here.
And dropping down straight.
Don't do that. You're a big boy now. And he never did it again. because his pride wants him to be the big boy.
Yeah, so, and he's got a big pause. So I didn't mention that whole dropping down and sweetie come here, we're there. As soon as he does that, we picture that image. We see the child and we see the adult come down to the child's level, and we feel the difference from the, hey, what are you, stupid, that he's done before. Really, really well done. Okay, let's carry on.
Have you ever wondered why nobody cares about global warming, even though it's a very serious issue? It could kill all of us. Because when you go home and you flip on the TV and you see a scientist trying to talk about global warming, it goes something like this. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see from the graphs here, the statistics for 2014, it shows the water level is rising. This table shows that the monodioxide level on the third ozone layer is in a very alarming position.
Okay. I don't really need to say much about that, do I? It's interesting to see the lengths he's gone to changing his body position, hunching his shoulders and leaning forward, pushing the glasses, invisible glasses up his nose, and then the obvious change in speech and licking his lips. The whole thing's really well done. Now, a professional actor could do better, no doubt, but because we've seen how he confidently talks, that is enough. You don't have to overdo it. And if anything, that might be a little overdone, but it works. It's really good. No critique on that. And again, pausing the laugh.
The message never get across. But most importantly, if you are a person who's a role model, if you're a person who's been admired, anything you say could be believed. Anything you utter could be taken as truth. My friend Nasser, he loved his father, idealized his father. He would do anything to make him happy. But his father was the kind of person who's not easy to impress. And year after year, Nasser tried, and his father was like, yeah. First year in college, Nasser got straight A's. And he thought to himself, this is it. This is what will finally make my dad proud. He picked up the phone. He called his dad. Dad, I got straight A's. Are you proud? Please tell me you're proud, Father. Yeah, listen, son, I'll have to call you back. I'm busy.
So this thing works really well. When you're practicing, when you're creating something like this, it's easy to look at something like that and go, oh, that's just going to look hammy, right? Don't worry about what it feels or looks like in the moment. Work on it. I'm sure it looked worse when he first started doing it. And I can guarantee, because I've been there as well, he would look at this and go, oh, I could do better than that. I could do better than that. Because your talks are never as good as you want them to be, ever. Even the best talk can be better, right? And I often say to all the people I coach, there is no right or wrong. There's only better or worse. You can always improve it, and you can always try something different that makes it worse, and you go, no, I won't do that. I'll do something else. Anyway, this thing worked really well, and the emotion is what sold it. It's the emotion and the change in tone. Please, Father, are you proud? Tell me you're proud. Yeah, sorry, I'm busy. I'm going to call you back. That's juxtaposition of tone and emotion makes that. We'll go back and just go through that again, and then we'll carry on.
Proud. He picked up the phone. He called his dad. Dad, I got straight A's. Are you proud?
Change the tone.
Please tell me you're proud, Father. Yeah, listen, son, I'll have to call you back. I'm busy. I'm busy was the single sentence that broke the camel's back. And he started drinking, doing drugs, hanging out with the wrong crowd. Nasser, why? Why are you throwing your life away? If the one person in the world that I care about the most doesn't care, then why should I? And one evening I got the phone call. Nasser's in the emergency room, drug overdose. I rushed to that hospital. I saw him on that bed, and I saw that machine go beep, beep, beep. And I saw doctors try to bring him back to life. Clear! 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 It's clear that a single word could have saved this life.
Okay. So I want to pause here and just talk about the whole structure. He started with very much a light touch, a very humorous start, got people laughing with the smoking, and I've just made that up, and a couple of people started smoking after I told them that. Then he tells a story about his son at his age. So we've gone into a little bit more profound, a little bit more interesting. And then this is a much deeper tale. And what's happening here is he's stacking emotion, and we're going from humor to contemplation, I'd say, to a much deeper, profound regret, because we've all had those times where we know we could have said something different, we didn't, and later on it's too late, or something along those lines. So the overall structure is really good. Now, a couple of things that he did there, and we'll rewind a little bit, but when he said, I rushed to the hospital, and he walks forward 5 steps, I rushed to the hospital. That's not accidental. That's showing movement in action as well as in words. And in order to do that, he's choreographed where he's going to be on the stage before he gets to that line. He's already worked out, I need to be further back on the stage before I deliver this line, because when I deliver this line, I'm going to stalk forward looking straight at the camera or the crowd or whatever it is. Just let's have a quick look at that. Think about here.
Then why should I?
Oh yeah, and this, go back a little bit more. This, the drinking thing.
Why are you throwing your life away?
This.
If the one person in the world that I care about the most doesn't care, then why should I?
He acts that and we feel it.
And one evening I got the phone call. Nasser's in the emergency room, drug overdose. I rushed to that hospital. I saw him on that bed, and I saw that machine go beep, beep, beep.
Very good use of language.
And I saw doctors try to bring him back to life. Clear! 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 It's clear that a single word could have saved this life.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it there. So clear, poof, clear, poof. The actions are good. We are living that moment with him because he's acting that out, right? Not over the top, not elaborate, just clear. And then it's very clever use of the word clear, because then he transitions from clear. We're going, is the guy dead? Because beep and this thing. And he goes, it was clear that one word could have saved his life. That's a very, very clever, poignant transition. Well done, Mohammed. Okay, let's carry on.
Words have power. Words are power. Words could be your power. You can change a life, inspire a nation, and make this world a beautiful place. Isn't that what we all wanted? Isn't that what we are all in this hall? Your mouth can spit venom, or it can mend a broken soul. Ladies and gentlemen, let that be our goal. Can't share.
Okay, so Mohammed Qahtani, fantastic job. Really, really love that video. It's a few years old, but I only saw it for the first time this week. I will link to the original video if you want down below. And yeah, I think it's worth looking at talks that really impact us, that work really well, and trying to figure out why they work, and realizing there's so many little pieces to make it work. It's not the guy's just a naturally good speaker. He worked on that. I can tell you, it's a 7-minute talk. That would have been months and months and months of work. I wouldn't be surprised if he worked 6 months just on that talk for 7 minutes. But was it worth it? It was. The other thing I wanted to say is that it sounds like English is a second language for Mohammed. So kudos for that. There are a few small, minor grammatical pronunciation issues in there which don't detract from it at all. And I'm only mentioning that to say that's really cool. You know, don't feel that because you have a problem with speaking, whether that's because English is your second language or you have some sort of speech impediment or something like that, don't feel that can stop you from getting your message across, because the practice will help as well. And like I said, there's hundreds of hours of practice that's gone into that 7-minute talk for Mohammed Qahtani. But the message transcends the language barrier. The message transcends any of those issues that you may have, right? And those of you that don't have those of you that don't have issues, you've got no excuse. If you have no message, then you've got an excuse, because you need to have a message if you're going to stand on the stage and talk to an audience, right? Whether that message is what you're pitching or whether that message is something like a concept that Mohammed's just shared with us. All right, so that's enough for me. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know if you like this, what you do like about it, what you don't like about it, and basically, do you want me to do some more of these? I'm quite keen to go through some of the TED talks and some TEDx talks, and I thought maybe I want to go through a couple of ones that we coached and break down some of those. So let me know what you think. Is that a good idea? Should I do these things? And now that I think, hopefully, I've worked out how to do it, we can do some more of them. All right. See you next time.